This episode contains some discussion on the Houston Astros cheating scandal. Unfortunately, at the time of recording, the Astros' punishments and the Red Sox involvement were not made known yet, so everything regarding the cheating in the episode is our opinions before the official MLB ruling. Our thoughts on the current status of the controversy will be made live separately sometime soon. Thanks for listening and enjoy the episode.
Welcome to the one and only Fried Chicken Dingers podcast. We're your hosts, Shabab Amman.
A group of former Little League teammates based in Amman, Jordan.
With a taste for fried chicken.
Join us as we discuss the latest news,
Rumors.
Theories.
And opinions in the world of baseball.
Join us monthly for...
Wait, guys. Do you seriously think we're going to be able to do that monthly?
Barry!
Okay, sorry.
Join us monthly for all things baseball from fans of the Yankees,
Reds,
Twins.
White Sox,
Tigers.
Dodgers,
And the A's, right here on Fried Chicken Dingers.
Fried chicken ASMR.
Nom nom nom. I'm gonna eat the chicken.
we're rolling.
we are
Rolling.
We're actually stationary, but
Welcome to episode 2.
Woo!
Fried Chicken.
We made it for a month.
Yes.
Definitely not recording.
Dang,
this
guys,
right
I can't.
after.
I'm surprised you guys actually stayed for a month.
I know. Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah. I got
to have you
priorities,
here.
bro.
Sacrifice.
Yeah. Man, it seems like such a long time ago that we did our last podcast.
I know, right?
Like a month, yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
So, and we'll probably play the intro again. But all 7 of us are here.
Yeah, dude.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yes.
Jacob is very
So
excited.
we're gonna do this again. In case you don't remember what happened last episode, we introduced ourselves, give
Should
a
we
background.
restate our teams again?
And our names?
Got a little intimate.
Shall we do that again?
Yeah, let's do it
Yeah, let's
again.
say our
I think-
names
All right, let's go
names
around
and
again.
teams.
So I'm Pascal.
Not one.
I'm Pasky, and I am a fan of the A's.
What city?
What do you mean?
Caleb, no one cares. Be quiet, man.
They're in North Dakota.
The North Dakota
Athletics.
And I'm David, and I like the Twins.
I'm Caleb, and I like the Yankees.
Josh and the Tigers are the best and the worst.
Noah for the White Sox.
I'm Barry, and I'm a Dodgers fan.
And a bandwagon.
I am Jacob Benjamin Jenkins, the first, and I happen to follow the Red Stockings, otherwise known as the Reds.
Woo!
Yes.
Not the Red Sox.
That's all of us.
All right. No, the Red
Back.
Sox are
Crap.
Yeah, so last episode we kind of went over some off-season trades that happened. Wheeler to the Phillies.
We also evaluated each other's teams and
Yeah,
Yeah,
I went through
a
that. So
little
go back and listen to that one if you haven't, because please.
On the topic of the Red Sox being trash, how about everyone's teams last season?
okay.
Are we going with that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Last
why not?
season.
So
Out of all of our teams.
all
You
of
wanna
our
start
teams
with
are all
best?
30. Are we
The,
All
mo-
30.
the
Oh,
most
no.
straightforward
So-
of all of us.
Yeah.
Okay, no.
Which is me?
No, I feel like I should start.
Okay, you can start.
Okay, so basically, to sum it up, the Dodgers had a very good
Well,
season.
okay, whoa.
No.
Hold on. Just wait. I think
He
before
says
I think
Dodgers.
before
Cut him off.
for
Bleep it.
for the sake of our audience. Alright, so basically, last
should start with
season
the
the
Nats.
Nats won the World
Yeah,
Series.
Nats
They won the
won.
whole thing.
The Nats.
Underdogs. They had a pretty good season. I mean, they won.
Okay, shut up.
Yeah.
Let me talk.
Hold on a second.
Hold
And
on,
basically,
Barry.
what we want to talk about is, does winning the World Series constitute that they are the best team
Oh,
of
yeah.
all of 2019?
I would
Out of
not
all
say
30
no.
teams?
But we'll I mean,
Shut up.
we'll
No
we'll
one
get
cares.
into
We'll
that.
get into that. I think now we're
about
gonna go
halfway
to
through.
basically
Okay, I'm
what
about
our
to
teams
sum
are
up
like.
my
So
season.
Barry's about to sum up his season.
Yes.
So basically, as expected, the Dodgers had a very good season. They then went to the playoffs. In the playoffs. Well, first, let's just go over some history. If there's anything we know about the
around
Dodgers
some
and their
question.
rosters,
Yep.
it's that Clayton Kershaw sucks
Did I call it?
in
Did I
the
call it?
postseason. We know this. This is a known fact. This happens every time. So what do we do? What do we do when we're like winning in a close
Game
game?
5.
In game 5 of the postseason, we put Clayton Kershaw in the game. And guess what happens? He gives up two home runs, ties a game and loses us And then the team that beats us went on to win the World Series.
5 outs from the win. 5 outs.
5 outs from the win!
And the Nats really cut it close in every series.
Yeah, they really did.
Wild card game first.
NLCS,
Yeah.
they destroyed them.
They came back in every game. Yeah, so the Kershaw's a choker. I think we can.
No
I
kidding.
think Barry has
Yeah.
to clean up the place now because his spit is everywhere.
But do you think that diminishes from Kershaw? Or do you think that
No,
makes
the
him a
spit's
worse
still gonna
player
be there.
for the career?
Kershaw's going to be really good next season. He's not.
Well,
gonna,
Next
but
season.
does his failures in the postseason reflect his career at
Yes.
all? Is he a failure?
You can't-
as a
I mean-
pitcher?
say so.
Partially because the postseason is really where it matters the most, and if
Yeah,
you
yeah.
always could, it's not like he had one bad outing in a post.
Yeah.
He's always sucks in the postseason. So
He always does.
Yeah.
Postseason isn't a measure of your career, though. Because
No.
most of your
for
no,
career
but
is in the
it
regular
is
season.
But it
kind
is
of a
where
good
it
measure
counts.
of your clutchness.
Yeah, I would
Right.
agree
Yeah.
with Barry where it doesn't
sure.
it doesn't say your value as a player necessarily, but it shows how you handle stress.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
if you can't come in clutch in the postseason, then how are you going to contribute to your team overall? Because every player wants to make it to the postseason, but if you can't contribute in the postseason, then what's your value for your
Well,
team?
but if the guy has 10 plus wins in the season,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
that's
like
very
I'm not saying he's
valuable.
No,
bad.
yeah.
I'm just saying if he can't help his team
You gotta be
win,
able to take
He
it
then
to
like
yourself.
can't
then
deliver
what's
when
the
it
point?
matters.
Yeah.
Well, but then you feel
mean-
bad for the guy because you hear him talk about it, and it's like
Yeah.
it's just as frustrating for him. Like,
Right.
it's not
Yeah,
like-
no,
for
it's
sure.
true. He's
I mean,
But it's also really frustrating for me.
more so for Barry than for Kershaw, honestly.
I'm
Yeah.
actually talking about it. I love that game.
Yeah, me too.
that was awesome.
How does anyone else feel about their season?
How about we just go around and recap?
Let's
our
talk about the
seasons?
Tigers.
Let's go with Jacob. No, I think we should go around. Let's
All right,
go
let's
with
talk about
Jacob.
the Reds.
Okay,
Jacob
so
Benjamin Jenkins.
the Reds, straight from Jacob Benjamin Jenkins, the first, coming at you with a little spice.
Ooh.
Uh,
Wow.
The Reds started off the season,
Keep it PG.
and
They started off the season.
Um,
Well, they started off the season.
yeah, they started off okay, and then they did nothing and didn't improve, didn't get a whole lot worse. But then they called up Aquino, and I went and watched the game where he hit 3 home runs in a single game. Saw how many 5 pitches, and 3 of them he hit out.
Yeah.
So that was an insane game to watch. But like, he's not gonna do so well. I don't like. Well, I don't know if he's like he'll do decent, but he's gonna be one of those strikeout home run hitters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
probably.
And he actually came up last year. He came up for 1 game, but and he had a regular stance then. Like if you've seen his stance, he stands so his legs are wide open to the pitcher.
Why don't you show our audience?
Yeah.
show the
Show the audience. Yeah.
I was about to get up and do it, but then I was like, wait, they're not going to be able to see. But he stands with his legs wide open. So, like, it's a very vulnerable place. And then he steps up and, like, twists his body and just, like nails
Sounds kind of
that
normal.
thing.
Not gonna lie, if you think about it, his
when you-
legs apart, he twists his body.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
No,
but he's,
but
like,
that's true.
facing the pitcher when they start off. And then they pitch the ball, and he just, like, he hits it out.
He like
but,
swings.
If you're listening, go and Google it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Google
That'll-
Aquino.
I mean, it won't give you as accurate of a description, but
Yeah.
I feel like
pretty close.
every episode will give you one thing to Google. Today,
Yeah,
Aristides
today-
Aquino's batting stance.
Aquino's stance.
Last episode, if you were with us, you would remember there'd be Rich Hill and his wife's mugshots.
Dick Mountain.
So yeah, look those
And
up.
Yeah.
It was funny because I was at the game and in between one of the innings, we go, like me and my friend, we go to check the stores, and there are like tons of people in the store, and they're like, "What? There's no Aquino jersey? He's been called up like 2 games like before." I'm like, "Of course there's not gonna be Aquino jerseys." And like this kid's like crying in the corner. He's like, "Mom, I just won his jersey." And I was like, "Do you expect it to be up within 2 days of him being called up? Like that's not gonna happen."
If
Yeah.
you were a White Sox player, it would have happened.
That's because that's their only good play. Oh
We
no,
probably had
never.
jerseys before in the minors.
Yeah.
But yeah, we didn't do a whole lot in the season. We didn't do horrible.
Yeah, fun.
Yeah,
times.
we had some good.
Puig was fun to watch.
Reds
Yeah,
game.
Puig was
Reds.
Puig was a lot of fun to watch.
You
always
had some
fun to
fun
watch.
moments.
And
The
then
Reds
we
and the Pirates.
and then
Castillo.
The Reds.
and we
and
Reds,
him.
Pirates,
Traded him.
Balls.
Though
Dietrich.
that was a great trade. Barry hated it. I Loved it.
That was an amazing
Wait, which
trade.
We got
Oh
Puig,
yeah.
Kemp,
Shut
and
up.
Farmer for.
And Alex Wood. Right?
Oh yeah, and Wood.
Okay, so can I comment on
Go
this?
for it.
So the thing is, in hindsight, I actually don't mind it as much because basically what we were doing was we were just opening space on our roster to bring up prospects.
Yeah, that's true.
What I really hate is the fact that we sent them money as well. we were like,
What
okay,
did we even give you?
literally nothing. You gave us like 2 prospects who we cut immediately.
Yeah, I know they were complete garbage.
They really were. I actually, because I live in Utah.
Freaking Mormons.
Personal intimacy.
Okay. So, but that's where the Dodgers Triple-A thing, or not Triple-A.
Triple-A thing.
Not Triple-A. Not Triple-A. That's where their rookie ball is.
Okay.
So I saw one of them play, and he struck out every time.
In
And-
rookie
oh,
ball.
and he made an error.
In rookie league.
That's kind of rough.
Anyways,
Could we do any better?
they,
no.
so
That's for Puig.
to
Kemp,
sum up,
money, Wood.
yes,
Farmer.
shut up. To sum up the deal, we paid them to take some pretty good players off our hands.
And give you some garbage for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so Dodgers.
All right, now shall we
that
move on to
happens.
Paskey?
A's,
Yeah.
how are the A's season?
Well, I mean, the A's had a decent season.
They did.
And 97 wins. I mean, they were trash
Yeah.
for the
I mean,
first half.
Yeah.
That's so sad. I was
And
thinking,
then
it's
they
like
were-
They had a
turned
good
on.
season.
They had a really good
They
season.
did. I mean, they have a solid team.
They do.
They got to the wild card game and they blew it as usual.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what happened with Manaya, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
first inning, first batter,
Yandy
home
Diaz.
run. And
Yeah.
that's about how, as well as it
On
went.
wild card games is kind of it's really a toss up.
toss-up,
Like
yeah.
that's
It's almost-
why
it's like a wild card.
it's. I mean, as if, but not really though.
But
Like,
not
yeah,
quite like
no,
Unless the Yankees are
Kind of
playing.
different, but
that's true. That's an absolute
I
blowout.
I think with the squad we have, it was pretty solid. You know, we got Chapman.
Yeah,
Both Mats at first and third are pretty they're like the face of the team now.
Yeah.
Because if they leave, then that's
Marcus
it.
Simeon, though, he was really
Oh, he was fantastic.
He was.
He won.
He was in the MVP. He was third in the MVP.
He was.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have been.
But that's for another time.
No.
No,
Chapman
Should
was-
have won a
Marcus,
gold glove
Marcus
like 2
Simeon,
years ago.
Gold Glove.
I will say I was very disappointed in Chris Davis not hitting that same batting
Yeah,
average.
that was maybe
yeah,
the worst
that's-
part.
Yeah,
that's
that,
true.
that
Oh
was,
my
that was
God.
very
Yes,
disappointing.
goodness.
although
better than that now.
he did hit a home run at 2:47 p.m.
Yes, I saw
Yeah.
that.
So
Yeah,
that
yeah, he did.
That's
That
true.
Was, that
That's
was pretty
true.
early in the season when he was still in form.
yeah.
Yeah,
But then for
he
some
got
reason
hurt,
he-
right?
He got hurt, like he crashed into the wall in the outfield. And
Yeah,
after
He
that,
just
he was never.
Sounds like
yeah.
Yeah.
And then Kemp just broke his rib, and then we're like, yeah, you weren't doing a whole lot, so
It's okay.
We'll relieve you of your duties.
I mean, but it was
Yeah.
a pretty good season. We had some
Yeah.
good wins, and I think the team has got a lot of good stuff.
Yeah,
If it weren't for the A's, I would have had
Also,
a much better
Mike
season.
Fires is the one.
Astros, not
Mike
A's.
Fires.
If it weren't for the A's, you guys would have had
If
a
it weren't for the
phenomenal
Astros,
season.
the Astros.
I mean, and it was Mike Fires who started this whole Astros scandal.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty
Yeah.
happy about that.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, but we'll have to see what happens. They're
Yeah.
not going to spend any money this offseason, so that's kind of.
It's the A's, man.
I'm also excited for the A's future though. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
they've
They're
got
a fun team to watch, for
Yeah.
sure.
I think
They have a really good manager.
Yeah.
They're a fun team.
Yeah, Bob Melvin's great. Anyway, David.
Twins.
Well, the Twins. I was actually
That was
super
exciting.
super excited for this season
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
beginning because we got guys like C.J. Crone, Jonathan Scope.
Nelson Cruz.
We had Nelson Cruz,
Marvin.
Marvin Gonzalez,
Dude.
and
Yeah.
Jake Odorizzi coming off a pretty good season.
And
So,
so,
Yeah.
plus the Indians were getting rid of all their guys.
Oh yeah,
right. So, yeah, and we had Lindor injured at the beginning of the season. So yeah, pretty optimistic as a Twins fan. And sure enough,
I love how that's what makes you optimistic. Oh yeah, well Lindor was injured, so basically we were golden.
You'll take what you can get.
Bro, if you're in AL Central, that's all you're living for. When
Yeah.
Lindor's injured,
you're not wrong.
Yeah. And I think it all started in the first series. We won 2 out of 3 against the Indians, and then
Nice.
yeah, we were only behind, I think, to the Indians for a couple games the whole season. So
Yeah.
overall, just a really good, really exciting season.
pretty insane.
A lot to look forward to. 101 wins, and
Yeah,
our bullpen could really use some help as,
Hell yeah.
as we saw in the ALs in the playoffs.
ALCS, my friend.
Let's not
Yeah.
talk about
What are you going to start the season off against us?
I know.
Oh, actually?
Yeah. Barrios versus Manaea.
Okay.
Oh, that's an interesting.
Yeah. Also, I'm hoping Barrios kind of comes back because he started struggling at the end of last season.
The past couple of years, he's just had a rough second half.
Yeah, and so I'm hoping that if he can maintain that, he can probably lead the Twins to a lot better postseason.
I'm hoping for maybe one more piece, one more starter. Yeah. But yeah, I think we're looking pretty good. And looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Shame that Ryu and Bumgarner and Keuchel and all those guys are signs.
Yeah,
I mean,
what a shame, really.
And
I know, what a shame. Y'all not
you don't have
signing
Crone
anybody
anymore because he signed with the Tigers.
Yeah, Josh. Oh wait, we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Oh, let's move on to
Yankees.
Our Yankees.
All right.
Oh
boy.
I think we can just skip him.
Yeah. Okay. So on to the Tigers.
And then move on.
If you want to in this podcast, just skip ahead.
Skip ahead about 10 minutes because that's how long it's going to take.
Well, I'm not gonna deny the Yankees had a great season.
The Yankees had a great
amazing. However, I was excited at the beginning of the year.
Barry, shut up.
Shut up. Let him talk. Let him talk.
I was really worried. I wasn't sure how good the Red Sox would be, and they kind of crashed and burned.
Oh, dude, they suck.
Oh my god.
That was so fun.
But that was kind of nice, and it was really fun to watch. Well, but it was really fun to watch the Yankees compete with the Rays for the AL East because it was just a different team. It was just
that was a cool.
Yeah.
It
was a lot of fun to watch them play games just because they were both good teams.
If you couldn't see, David said race and put quotation marks. Air quotes.
Yeah, not really a race, but
yeah. Well, at the beginning of the year, like in May, it was pretty close. And then
in May.
But the Yankees also had they broke the record for the most amount of IL stints in a season, and the longest time by they almost doubled that, I think, with players on it. And it was just a lot of injury riddled season. But it was just a lot of fun to watch all the guys come up and contribute because there was never a moment where someone got injured and then just like a guy came up and he didn't produce. It was pretty cool to watch.
Yeah,
we get it.
One of my favorite players from the year was probably Gio Urshela. It was fun to watch him play phenomenal defense and actually hit for once. That was cool. And he's just a fun guy. In other words, it was fun season. It sucked to knock my friend David's team out of the ALDS because I know he's excited about that. But good
Not
year
only
overall.
knock him out,
Yeah,
absolutely
completely dominate.
They also had an injury-riddled season and nearly passed the Twins' home run record.
Yeah.
That's
true. Yeah.
They
That's
lost by
another
one.
thing. Is
I love it how you
Twins.
guys you complain about me talking about the White Sox Triple-A team, but the Yankees this year were literally a Triple-A team.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were a
True.
AAA
That's
team
true.
that won 103 games.
Exactly.
They were a fantastic AAA team.
Yeah. So, it was a fun season, cool to watch. Had a lot of fun.
I like the
watching
Yankees better as a AAA team.
They're pretty likable though. Yeah, I like them all.
They're
So,
definitely
Yeah.
the more likable Yankee team that I've had in
sure.
a while.
Yeah.
I've kind of despised the Yankees the last couple of years.
Oh, I despised the Yankees when we had A-Rod,
Yeah.
Cano,
Oh,
that
man.
team. Oh gosh.
Yeah, that was trash.
I know it's bad when one of your own fans despises their favorite team.
Just gonna be honest.
Yeah.
One of my least favorite players ever is probably A-Rod.
Oh yeah, that's
and
pretty
I'm a
common.
Yankees fan.
Yeah.
So,
True.
all right, we can.
We should move on to the
Yeah,
Tigers.
Move on to
yeah.
the Tigers.
On to the Tigers. Well,
We'll spend about 5 seconds on that because there's not much to say.
Pretty much, we suck. I started off the season watching pretty much all the games for a little bit, and then I noticed their record was like 2-11, and I was like, this is gonna be a long season. So I'm gonna be honest. By about by the All-Star break, I didn't even know who was on the Tigers team anymore because we just called up so many prospects every time. I will say I'm excited to see Christian Stewart, his career. I think he's gonna have a good career. I'm also a little nervous about what's gonna happen to Cabrera. I'd rather see him retire than go to another team.
Or continue embarrassing himself.
Or I mean, I'm not gonna go that far. Like, he's definitely not as good as he used to be. But
definitely.
yeah, which is a shame. But
It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
Still a beast.
And we came very close to setting a new record for the most amount of losses in a season, but
How many did y'all have exactly?
we had 46 wins, and so
The
I'm not
Tigers
sure-
were that
Also,
close to getting
That's
a
like what?
record.
yeah, yeah,
You had what? 115 losses.
something like that. It's quite a
We only
few.
played at 161 games.
Oh yeah. We only because we played the White
White
Sox,
Sox,
and
that
one of
got
our games
canceled.
got postponed, and nobody really cared about our season. So they were just like, yeah, it's okay. We don't need to make it up.
So
So
White Sox and Tigers. Let's
yeah,
go.
we
Least
had
games
we
this
had
season.
one less game.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's why I didn't break the record.
Yeah, right. But the previous record is also held by the Tigers. So yeah, fun fact from I believe it was 2003.
Oh,
They
gosh.
lost 43 or they won 43 times
Oh
in
my
a single
gosh.
season.
Oh, no.
So
That's-
yeah, it's
Not much.
a bit of a rough patch last season. And when I say a bit of a rough patch, I mean like we were screwed.
Big rough patch.
Yeah. But yeah, that's honestly about
You
it.
mean like the coefficient of friction was over 1?
Yeah, yeah. We weren't even moving at that point, no matter how much force you applied. We've made a couple trades this offseason, but
We have.
I guess like the most significant was CJ Crone, and we're probably gonna lose Castellanos, which will be a shame. But yeah, I could say that I'm excited for this season, but I'd be lying. So, I guess we'll just see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Alright.
let's wrap it up with the
White Sox.
Honestly, this is
Last
probably
but
the
not-
most exciting
Yeah.
team that I'm looking
Yeah,
forward to
yeah.
this
Yeah,
season.
This season,
This,
yes.
this
Yeah.
team's
But what
got
happened
it
last
right.
season?
Last
but
season,
not- oh, wait,
we
y'all
used
working on this.
14 starters
outside.
over the entire season. 14.
That's a lot.
Obviously, you got Lucas Giolito, who had an insane season, coming off of that 6 ERA season the season before, and then dropping that down to like I think it was like 2 or 3. So he did really well. He had I think tied for the most complete games this season. He had 2 complete game shutouts, which were against the Twins and the Astros, and he was the only pitcher to do that this season against both of those teams. And then he was really good. You have Tim Anderson obviously winning the batting title. Yohan Moncada was third in that actually, so he wasn't that far
Yeah.
behind. Jose Abreu with the AL RBI leader as well. So
You had a couple key players.
yeah, we have some pretty key players. Obviously, Eloy Jimenez started the season. Opening day, surprisingly, I thought they would have saved him for a little bit later, but he hit 31 dingers in, I think, 122 games.
That's her name.
So,
Yeah,
fried chicken dingers, what?
that's like one every 4 games.
Yeah,
which is-
he was.
That's pretty good.
He did have a bit of a stretch where he didn't do much at the beginning, but then that one game against the Yankees where he hit 2 in one game, which is amazing. He really loves hitting against the Yankees for some reason.
I feel like the White Sox
most
always do
teams
super
don't.
well when they play the Yankees early on in the year.
Yeah.
They'll always beat us.
Yeah,
The White Sox generally do
I forgot
good
to go into
against what?
I just have a side note that I
Okay.
was gonna say.
Wait,
but that
so
can-
the White-
wrap
the
this,
White-
wrap this
Yeah,
up
wrap this
quickly.
up and
After
then we'll
no.
pause before.
Wait,
Yeah,
let me-
so
let
the
me do
White
my
Sox,
side note.
as usual, did well against the good teams, but also as usual did bad against the bad teams. So pretty average.
But
White
they've
Sox
got a good
season.
future.
They got a good
for
future.
sure, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely
So,
a great teacher.
Wait, let
Caleb,
me do
you
my
had
side
something to
note.
say?
Yeah, so I wanted to say this going into the Yankees.
Is that our chicken?
Is that our
That
chicken?
is our chicken.
Is
Chicken!
that our chicken?
All right. Well, we'll be.
We'll pause. We'll get back to my side note
quick
later.
commercial break.
We'll be right
We
back.
gotta take a picture of the chicken for social media.
Just leave it rolling.
Nom nom nom. I'm gonna eat the chicken. Got some hair in my mouth.
All right, chicken
back.
has been consumed.
True to our name, we had a fried chicken break for lunch.
We did.
What a deal.
It was fantastic.
Yep.
Caleb, you had a side note.
Yes, I did. Okay, so I just wanted to say that I meant to include this in my recap, but every single year, you know, the A's in the second half of the season are phenomenal. They play excellent baseball, and they're so much better than they were in the first half. And every single year, the Yankees, around August and September, like end of August, beginning of September, we always make a trip to Oakland. And every single time, we get absolutely destroyed. I don't know what it is, but y'all just beat us every single time. And you were talking, we mentioned something about losing to one team, like the Reds beating the Dodgers every time. Every time we go to Oakland, we lose. And we get swept like almost every year. Every year it's the same thing. It's
4-game series, Reds, Dodgers.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
No,
Sweet.
That's an interesting point. And I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, I hate it. Every time we go to Oakland, I'm really like, no, because no, we're gonna get swept. Anyway.
Unfortunately, the
Probably
wild
jinxed it
card
now
did not
for
go
this
like
season.
that.
No,
That's
it's
good.
not.
Hey, I'm not gonna.
Everybody
Knocking on
knocking.
wood in
We'll
case
see
it
what
happens.
happens.
So we've just recapped all of our team's seasons last year.
Yes.
I think we're gonna move on to which team had the best year.
How about those Mariners?
The Mariners had a great
If
first
the
year.
game, if the season was 13 games long, the Mariners were the
I
best.
saw
team.
this meme. It was Mariners fans 15 games into the season. Just everybody's having a party. Mariner games now, and it's just the black guy crying.
It's okay, you can say that because all of us here are white except for Paskey.
Jacob!
We're gonna have to
Just
take
slowly-
that out.
Jacob just slowly hinting at my identity.
Jacob Weiss said
Because
important.
he's already,
Bleep that part.
he's already exposed himself to everyone.
I already said I was an American. The
Yeah.
only one here. So reveal it.
Pass-
I'm also very
bleep
dark
that.
skinned.
You
Short,
just said everyone's
black
white.
skin.
No,
Oh, hair. I would say hair.
tall.
Short, black skin.
Okay, let's move on. I mean, we already
Jacob,
said the Nats
tall.
won the World Series.
All blacks.
But were they the best team of 2019? Everything included.
No.
If
And why?
you
All
include
right.
everything, no. But I would
Right.
say that at the end of the season, they were probably
Who, the Nats?
Well, I think
Yeah,
so.
the second, like,
Barry, why don't we let
top
Barry?
top three of the best teams in
Yeah.
baseball.
So why don't we let Barry go because he was the first to answer.
Okay, well, to tell you the truth, I didn't really have anything prepared.
Okay, David, go ahead.
Yeah, David, take it away.
I'll come in later.
Okay.
So we all know that the Nats had a better record than like all the major league teams after what was it, May 19th or something.
Yeah.
They were, I don't know, what was it, 19 and 30 something.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then they came back and just had a phenomenal second half, and they were like 700 was their record, their percentage after that. So yeah, they were phenomenal at the end of the season. We obviously saw that in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But I do think that statistically and in my opinion, I think the Astros were the better team,
Mhm.
I agree.
but the Nationals played better in the playoffs.
They were
Yeah.
like the ultimate
Praise the
underdogs this season.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well-
actually,
One thing is the Nationals were they were really paranoid about the Astros cheating.
Yeah.
Which,
That's true.
which we will get to later.
Yeah.
Yes. So they kept changing the signs multiple times a game.
Didn't they have like 10,000 signs by the end of the
Yeah,
season?
Something,
something
like
like
that.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
So, yeah.
More than 3.
Definitely more than 3. Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with David's assessment. I think I would say that either the Yankees or the Astros, I guess, or the Dodgers too, were probably the
Yeah.
top 3.
They were the top 3.
Yeah,
for
top
sure.
3 teams. But in the postseason, nobody even came close to the
Oh,
Nationals'
sure.
performance.
Oh,
They
yeah,
were
not
sure.
at all.
they were incredible.
Absolutely.
But I would,
It was strange though because they would always start the game losing, and then they would come back and win, like come in clutch like 6th, 7th inning.
Unless they were at home.
well, yeah,
Unless they're at home,
Unless they're at home, yeah.
which was also strange.
Yeah.
Which was
but
That
very
was-
strange.
That was that'll never happen again.
Yeah, no,
Most
probably
likely.
not. It was the first time in sports history, and
Yeah.
probably the
Sports
last
history.
time
yeah,
in sports history
pretty
too.
crazy.
Should
Yeah,
happen next season.
but I would argue that I would definitely say the Nats were obviously one of the top 5 teams in baseball at the end of the year. Now you definitely
No
had.
kidding.
But you definitely had those top 3 teams:
Yeah.
the Yankees, Astros, and Dodgers. And I think the Nats' postseason success was more of I would say a flaw in the postseason format, because basically the Nats were able to ride their phenomenal starting pitching to the World Series and win it that way.
That is true.
It was only because of their pitching, really.
Yeah, the crazy thing is that they were against the Braves at the end of the
Well,
season. They were not looking
Exactly, because
Yeah.
their bullpen was very bad for a large part of the year. And my dad brought up this point, like at some point during the postseason, he was like, man, it's a shame the Nats didn't have to play the Braves in a series because the Braves owned the Nats. Every time they played them, they destroyed them.
For sure.
So to me, that just points to like I don't know if they were one of the best teams. Obviously, they were very good.
Yeah, but like, there's always some team that owns another team.
Like the Reds and Dodgers.
Yankees and Twins.
Yankees and Twins, yeah.
Yeah,
Reds and Dodgers.
There's always like there's a big team and there's some like little team that sucks.
Yeah.
Like, but that.
Are you calling the Braves a little team that sucks?
No, I'm just like
So for example, the Reds and Dodgers,
or like the White Sox and the Red Sox.
Yeah.
or like the Reds and Dodgers.
That's not a good example.
Jacob, we get it.
Reds and Dodgers.
We understood.
Or like the Tigers. Oh, never mind.
Like the Tigers
And the Royals. Wait a minute.
Anyway, the point is, even though the point is that every good team usually has some team that's not
No, it's true. Yeah.
that's not that great
sure,
that
you're
like owns them
The
for
Royals.
some
Sure,
reason.
but like the Braves, I would say were better than the Nats were. They had a better record overall.
I
They were
don't
just
know.
better
Not in the
this
second
season.
half. Of the
I think
season.
I
don't
think
so.
I think the Nats would have.
They did not in the second half. Go ahead, sorry.
I think the Nats would have actually beaten the Braves had they. I think it would have been a better series than it could have been.
No, I
But-
would agree that would have been a very
Yeah,
good series.
But
yes.
I still think that the Nats, they had so much momentum going into
Yeah.
going into the postseason, and
Yeah.
momentum in postseason is really everything.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Like,
I agree.
but they also like Juan Soto was just on fire.
yeah.
Yes.
Anthony Rendon was
Yeah,
clutch.
Anthony Rendon was
Absolutely.
crazy. I mean, he's always
Totally.
clutch, but
Yeah.
I mean, the same thing happened with the A's. I mean, the opposite
Most
happened with the
definitely.
A's. Like before the wild card game, the last 2 weeks,
100%.
the last week of their games,
I know,
they had-
boys. Be quiet.
they had no momentum. Like they were winning, but
right,
barely.
right, yeah.
By like
Yeah.
one
Like
goal or
winning
something.
Moment,
They were-
momentum
Their
is
mass,
everything
their
to
mass
get through
was
the
great,
last.
but their velocity was just not there.
Yeah.
That wasn't good, Barry. I'm not gonna give you that.
that was kind of like a pity laugh
Yeah.
from all of us.
I'm sorry.
It was pity.
You're
That
forgiven.
was sad.
That was like
That's kind of sad.
Josh's professor.
That's true. Yeah.
Girl.
Oh, we're going personal again.
Pity.
Yeah,
Intimacy, as Josh
You don't
was saying.
need
I don't go to school. Anyway, yeah.
Well, okay. I mean, I would say that, like, I hate to say it, but I think the Astros probably had like one
Yeah.
of the best because I mean
Yeah.
they had
Yeah,
such
definitely.
a great record. Obviously,
They've been a
They were
great
playing
team for the
really
past
well.
like three
Then they
years.
got.
I wonder
what's
why.
his
Yeah.
name? Yeah. I'm getting that. Like,
We'll get there,
they got. You know, I mean, Cole was at the top of his game.
Yeah.
Verlander, and
Yeah.
all those, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
Alvarez come out of nowhere.
Like,
Yeah.
if you're looking at pitching, Astros were first in strikeouts, and they were first in wins, and they were third in ERA.
Yeah.
So
But also,
their
but
pitching's
also
there.
hitting. Like
Hitting
it's
as well.
They've always been
insane
such an
hitters, and then
offensive
the rookie
team.
Alvarez came out of nowhere.
Jordan
Yeah.
Alvarez.
So,
is insane.
you know, I do
Yeah.
think they had one. Yeah, I hate to say it, but he had quite a good season. But
Yeah.
then the scandal
Yeah,
comes
yeah,
up, right?
and
There is
Yeah.
a
You're
scandal.
cheating at home. So
You gotta wonder how
Well-
much of that was used
Yeah.
in the regular
And
season.
I wanna throw back to the 2017 ALCS
maybe
where.
before we should just recap what happened real quick.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
For
yeah,
no reason
sure,
everyone
sure,
knows.
sure.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
let's
in
talk
case
about
people don't know.
Guys,
Who wants to
also,
recap it?
they had the least strikeouts hitting this
Yeah,
season.
and they had like the
Oh,
top offense.
that's
and
interesting.
least
And the
strikeouts.
highest batting average.
Least-
Yeah.
least-
Team.
I
What was
think-
their batting average
Their batting-
against changeups?
Against change, I don't have
Oh
that.
yeah, that's an advanced stat, Barry.
against breaking
We're not,
balls.
we're not the announcers for the game. We don't know those kind of stats.
I
Yeah,
think
the,
I think they were like third or something though. From what they like against breaky balls, they had like the third highest batting average.
But that strikeout thing is really interesting.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
just that they don't strike out. I mean, or just that they don't necessarily strike out
right,
as much as everyone else because
and some
they
of
know
that
what's
skill,
coming.
some of that skill,
Some of that is skill,
Yeah.
100%.
So basically,
Yeah.
what happened is after the season, there were allegations brought up that the Astros were cheating and stealing
started
signs. So
by
they were
Mike
using a
Fiers,
camera
Yeah.
in their center field and then signaling to the batters what signs and what pitches were coming, and then
Yep.
that allowed them to know where to swing and when to swing
and then the beating on the trash can.
Yeah. So
was the beating on the trash can like every game, or was that just in particular games?
I'm not sure. I think that might have just been the postseason.
There's a video. There's a lot of really good.
Thing is, I've only seen videos from a few games.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen.
Yeah,
videos
right.
From,
There's a video from the whole 2017 highlights of repeated instances.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, I mean, it's been kind of quiet now because MLB is investigating and deciding on the consequences. But I think it's pretty obvious based on video evidence and
one of their pitchers. I mean, we have.
He came forward and said that.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's enough evidence to say like it definitely happened. But now, how does that, or what do we think? What should happen to them?
They should strip them of their World Series title.
Shut up!
No! Shut up!
Give it to the Dodgers.
No, I disagree. I don't think you can
that's
strip
not my
it and give it to the
opinion.
Yankees because they're the ones who got cheated.
Are you kidding me? No way.
No.
But
I would rather the cheating Astros keep the World Series title than it go to the New York Yankees.
Deserved it more than the Astros.
But I don't think they should strip it because stripping a title is such a hard and controversial thing to do. Yeah. You can't just be like, yeah, we're taking away your first World Series win ever.
Mm-hmm.
But
first also, that's
it's kind of like with the Black Sox scandal way back when. Yeah. Where it'll probably taint
100 years ago.
Yeah.
It'll taint them for a long time to come. Probably not as much.
There'll always be an asterisk by that title.
Yeah, there always will, and it won't be as bad as the Black Sox scandal.
They won't have as cool of a name for it either.
That's also true. Like
the
Astros camera scandal.
I mean, Astros like the Dead Stars or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like what's the opposite of an Astro?
That's too cool.
That's too cool.
The
White Dwarfs. The White Dwarfs.
I was watching I was in the gym one day and they just had an interview with the what's his name, baseball manager.
AJ Hinch?
Yeah, no, not the whole baseball.
Rob
Manfred, yeah. And he was saying that he wants to make them pay a fine, but not one that's just a small fine.
Yeah.
One that really sabotages the team. It was like a couple $1 billion, I think.
Oh, wow.
Which is insane.
Oh my gosh.
That's actually a big.
Fine,
no,
like,
most fines are like whatever, but that cripples a team for a long time.
Sure,
Unless
you're the Yankees.
He's a couple $1 billion. They just take it out my weekly allowance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The Yankees owner just writes the check on the spot.
Okay.
It's like that's
what?
Nice.
Maybe wait till Monday to cash it. But
yeah.
Oh,
but yeah, that's I agree with that punishment.
Yeah.
So
because the fine won't do anything unless it's massive.
Oh yeah.
I don't think you should strip the title.
No.
But here's the thing. They strip basketball titles in college basketball a lot when there's any instance of cheating like that.
That is true.
Like Louisville lost their title in 2013. Like they're just instances of titles being stripped in scenarios like this. So I don't know who you'd give it to. Like I don't think the Dodgers.
I don't think you can
it.
give it to anybody.
I don't think you. Yeah, you can't give it to the Yankees. You can't give it to the Dodgers. You can't give it to anyone except for the one. But
just have it
like a blank spot. I don't know, or just have an asterisk or say next to it like they didn't really deserve to win this.
Right.
And I don't really know what specific punishment they should do, but it should be something that punishes them so that they either don't make the postseason soon or if they do, they have a severe disadvantage.
Yeah, kind of crippling the future or something.
With the fine though, the Astros' net worth is estimated around $1.8 billion.
Yeah.
So that's less than the fine. So they'd be in debt.
Well, but they'd probably
I'd have to look up how much the fine was exactly, but
let's bring back the Expos.
Bring back the Expos.
But should the players be punished as well, or just?
Yeah,
I think they were all a part of it.
With it.
There are some players I like more than others, but the fact that nobody came forward and was like, I don't feel right about this.
Yeah.
That they all should be punished.
Well, and some of those numbers, like the least strikeouts, like Michael Brantley is a guy who almost never strikes out. So having a guy like that in your team, and in general, if you have a really good hitting,
I do actually like Michael Brantley.
Okay.
I
like him a lot. Yeah, he's a respectable guy. But if you went along with this, then it's bro.
Yeah.
But that would be a hard situation because the thing is, it's a team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's not like you're just with a bunch of random dudes and they're doing something. You're like, oh,
right.
But that
You kind of rise and fall as a team.
At that point,
Yeah.
you're like a family.
But then do you get rid of like their general manager, take away AJ Hinch, like get rid of everyone that was part of that?
AJ Hinch, I think for sure.
Yeah.
Because the captain goes down with the ship.
Yeah.
Captain goes down with the ship.
Yeah, 100%.
I think he should absolutely be held responsible. But
But he did turn the Astros franchise around.
Oh yeah.
They were at rock bottom.
But that's not the point.
Yeah.
We're not questioning whether he did a good job as a manager.
Yeah, but he went along with this, which is enough to be like, that's not cool.
Yeah.
Right.
You should manage a team.
That affects the whole sport. I mean, I think Mike Fiers said something like, what he couldn't stand about it is that, like, it helps your batting, sure, but it also ruin a bunch of careers.
Yeah.
Like, say they bring up
that
a young
is
pitcher
that is
from
true.
Triple-A,
Yeah.
and then he's facing the Astros, his first inning ever in the majors, and they know all the signs. He gets destroyed, you may never get sent back.
Right,
out
that's a great point.
Yeah.
That's
so,
a great
like,
point.
This whole thing was like everyone's saying, oh, it's about the sport of baseball as a whole because it affects like career, like individuals as well.
Yeah, well, Well, another thing that was really interesting is like when you're talking about who should be guilty and who should be held accountable, is basically as soon as these came out, like Mike Fiers said his thing, and it was like they reported that they were actually going to do an investigation about it. Aaron Judge tweeted something about it. I don't know if y'all have read this or seen this.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so he was replying to the first thing like that they're going to launch an investigation into it, and like, oh my gosh, Mike Fiers is accusing them of stealing signs, and Aaron Judge, everyone was really confused. He goes, wait, ... what? Question mark, and everyone was like, wait, what does that mean? Like, and it's just basically it's like the Yankees knew about it. Basically, is the thing. Like they knew that they were stealing signs, and they didn't. I don't know if they knew there was a camera or anything. I don't know that far. But I think they knew there was something going on, and he was like, because he was like feigning surprise, like we already knew that. You know, like, wait, what? You know?
Like the video with Denny Farquhar.
Oh
as well.
gosh,
Yeah.
That to me is easily the biggest example of evidence for it. They definitely cheated.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah, because I mean, he clearly changes his signs, and he's like, "Bro, they know what's going on. We got to change this up."
Right. Yeah. But then teams kind of caught on to that in the postseason, and they started really changing their signs. I mean, the Astros have always been a team where they've read signs.
Well,
like they've had it where there's a runner on second signaling to the dugout what the pitch is going to be, which is legal.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the Red Sox did that in 2018 as well.
That's you're allowed to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
But then it comes into like where you have a camera, like you just can't do that.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
Do you think other teams are doing it?
Oh, I think
I would say I
think
there are some teams that are very scared right now.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying that everyone does it, but not everybody does it with a camera.
Yeah.
And like the thing is, I remember I was watching ALDS Game 5 and for the Astros Rays game.
Yeah.
And, with Glass now, and he was tipping his pitches.
Right. Yeah.
And I noticed that, but I mean, they were just hammering him and lighting him up.
Right.
And I was like, I was a little bit like I'm like, yeah, I get it, but for every reason, like it struck me as a little fishy and stuff, and unbelievable. I was like, and not saying I knew they were cheating then or something, but like I was like, something about that just felt wrong. Like they just knew too much almost. It was just like, okay. But I mean, there was clear signs that he was showing what he was going to throw sometimes, but like other times it was just like, but I don't know, something just felt wrong after I watched that.
Right.
Yeah, it was just weird.
When you've been playing baseball for that long, I think, and there's something like if the pitcher's glove is a couple inches high or low, I think you can notice it.
Yeah,
especially if you're looking for
definitely.
it, which is what they were doing.
No, but then it just like, but the extent of it, like I get making him give up a lot of runs or something, but it just seemed like every time a batter would go up, he was just crushing a double or something.
Right.
It was like,
because they knew it was coming.
Yeah.
And that was from the very start of the game too. I was like, oh, this is going to be a good matchup.
Yeah,
and then they just crushed him, and I was like, something's not right.
Yeah,
it was strange.
Yeah. It's the first sign where I'd be like, what?
Yeah, same with Game 7 of the 2017 World Series.
Oh, with Darvish.
Yeah.
For sure. So. And what's sad is, like I said earlier, I love George Springer. He had such a phenomenal World Series MVP. It's a really cool story. He hits 5 home runs in the last 5 games. It's like pretty incredible. But But if they're cheating for that, it's kind of like, oh, that's actually really sad.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's how he's able to do it. So.
Yeah.
Dodgers fan be salty.
You had a chance 2 years in a row and you blew it both times.
But then again, like the Dodgers pitchers are known for just blowing the postseason. So I mean, what are we gonna do?
Himself hasn't been the same.
Yeah.
Hasn't been very good since then.
Yeah.
I bet they didn't even steal the signs when Kershaw was pitching.
They're just like, it's okay, we got this.
Like, it's too much of a hassle.
Yeah. He's already giving it away, it's fine.
Yeah. If you're looking at like the percentages in the 2017 season, the league average for strikeout percentage was 21.5%, and the Astros were 17.3%. So it's pretty far
That's
below.
significantly less.
That is a lot less.
Whoa.
The extra base hit average was 8.3%. The Astros was 9.6%.
All right.
So there's clear indicators in the stats alone that they're
at least like a better team.
Which would also, that would also indicate that not a bunch of teams are cheating, or to a degree, because it's not like there are 3 teams that all have these incredible stats and then everybody else is way below them.
Yeah.
The Astros are significantly, which some of that is because they are just a talented team.
Yeah.
Sure.
But then you combine that with the camera.
Yeah.
I personally don't think any other team is using a camera.
I
would agree, especially not now.
Yeah.
Now they're all like, I'm gonna take this camera down real quick.
They're all just like,
how did that camera get there?
What? What do you mean?
When we played the Astros, I thought I saw them putting up a camera.
The Mets hide it in their Apple.
Or the whole Apple is just one big camera.
Yes, so true.
Why is the apple black now? Nope. It must have been.
I don't know.
Rotten.
It's rotten. Yeah, that's what it is.
Why is the apple flashing periodically throughout the game?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Either that, or we just thought we'd get it into the Players Weekend theme this year.
I think that one it's not past like evidence that has it happened or not. I think now we're just waiting for what they're going to decide to do.
Yeah.
I mean, we're also waiting for that.
Well, we're also waiting, I think, to see like to what extent it was exactly.
And I think it's going to be a pretty harsh punishment. As of right now.
I would hope so.
It's a good thing they're taking a while because they're being thorough.
Right. Yeah.
So,
definitely.
So for sure, whenever that verdict comes in, we'll probably do an episode on that and see
Yeah.
how that goes, and hopefully we won't see the Astros
can
in the
tune in
postseason
then.
for a while, maybe.
Sure.
But I think that's all the time that we have for episode 2.
Yeah. Well, so thank you
Thank
guys
you for tuning in,
watching or listening rather.
Indeed.
And watching.
Ears.
Yeah. Find us on Twitter.
Tell your friends.
Twitter at Fried Dingers.
Yep.
We're on Facebook. You can listen to us on Anchor and wherever else Anchor distributes us to.
Yep.
Anchor. Please donate.
Donate for the cause.
Actually, more than that, just tell your friends and listen.
Tell your friends to listen.
But actually, more than that, donate.
The more the merrier.
Be charitors.
Be charitors, guys.
Even if you don't want to listen, just play it in the background so we have
so
to
true.
play.
Just throw a party at your house and play this in the background.
Yeah.
We're a fun group of people.
Get everyone to pull it up on their phone.
Well, that'll get topics going. That'll start things. It'll be good.
Yeah.
Guys, if you get us to 100,000 followers, we'll do a fried chicken giveaway.
That's all the time we have for today. See you next episode.
Thank you guys. 4-game sweep.